Hipster King here from the Hairy Gamelords, and this evening we have been playing Facility 7 from Never Engine Games. What did we think? Stay tuned to find out. This was a completely new experience for us. We've done a lot of Tabletopia and TTS gaming, but never while we're all in the same room. So it was quite weird all playing on our computers. But we got a chance to have a preview a week before Facility 7 comes out on Kickstarter, and we're blown away by how much fun this game was. It's often quite difficult and a little bit clunky. We haven't played loads and loads online gaming, so it was a little bit difficult to start with. But very, very, very quickly it became clear just how much fun this game is. So basically you are playing a group of spies. It's kind of semi-co-op, so at the start of the game you are moving around the secret lair of this crazy professor, and you're opening rooms, and those rooms have effects, and you can go and access the room's effects, but that ends your turn. There are horrible events that comes out that do, bring certain things bad towards you, or maybe towards the other spies. You've got these wonderful hand of ops cards. There are gadgets that you can use. There are covert ops cards that you can place, and you can, depending on specific conditions, you can then play that. There are action cards that you can throw out and do damage to your opponents. This is a brilliant take that game, which we love. So at one point I was absolutely sure I was gunning for the win. I'd gone in, I'd dazed Dave, I'd stolen and got him to lose one of the data, which is victory points, and then while he was dazed, able to use my next action card and steal his data. So I was building up shed loads of data. I then got to another card, was able to gain 2 more data, so I was on 4 data, and this was very early on in the game, until Andrew threw down his covert card, which scrambled my data, and actually the 2 data that I just lost all my cards to pick up, I had to discard, dropping me down to 2. The game goes on. You eventually find the mainframe, and you have to hack the mainframe, and the minute that happens you enter the end game, and at the start of the end game you're able to attack each other. So you've got Andrew at one far end of the room taking sniper shots at Dave. You've got Dave throwing stink bombs and various other things. It was madness, so much fun, and you've got then all get. So you've got everybody in the last section of the game, once you've hacked the mainframe, attacking each other, trying to get as much data as you can, because data is victory points, and then escape through the main entrance hole. One thing I really, really liked about this game, which I wasn't expecting, when we were setting up the deck, I think we put 4 rooms in to explore. One node, which is like once you've hacked the mainframe, you have these nodes around that you can get extra data from, and the mainframe. 6 rooms. That's all we had to explore, 6 rooms, and it said on the box that were in the instructions that was going to be an hour game. Well, it took us an hour and a half to play because we were kind of learning as we played, and I just couldn't believe that with only 6 cards to explore it would take so long. But the whole point of this game, it's not just about turning cards over, it's all the other stuff that goes on your turn. So during your turn, it's not just you've got 3 movements and that's it. You can play as many cards as you want. You can equip cards, then you can play them on your next turn. There's various things that can happen in the rooms. You've got guards to chase down that can daze you, send you to prison. Loads and loads of stuff that can happen on your turn. So actually, what I was thinking, there are only 5 rooms in this game. How on earth can it take us an hour to explore all those and get out? It took us an hour and a half. This game has got some real depth to it, a huge amount of replayability. The amount of cards in this game is immense. They've put loads of homebrew stuff in there. You can play loads of different events, and then at the back of the instruction manual, there's space for you to write your own set of rules, your own set of wild cards that do a huge amount of different stuff. This game is brilliant. Definitely get behind it on Kickstarter. We've played it for an hour and a half. We've been laughing at each other. We've been digging at each other. We've been being absolute sods to each other. What a brilliant game. Thank you very much for showing to us, and definitely take a look at it when it comes out on Kickstarter.
Bearded Lady here. Oh my days, absolutely loved this game. The artwork in it is, well, if you see the front cover, it's that kind of stylized artwork, and there's just so many cards, as Hipster King said, so many cards, each of them featuring that kind of like stylized, kind of almost symbol artwork on the top, and then some great script underneath. Just so much fun, and a lot of banter was had. I basically just wanted to kill people, and especially my co-agents. And now there is a variant where in the actual game you have to wait until that mainframe has been hacked, and then that kind of the tick down is triggered. But there is a variant where you can just go for it and kill people willy-nilly, which is what I wanted to do. Just, get my own back on these guys who in previous games have hammered me. But what's really interesting is that unless you team up with other players, you can't just go out and kill somebody. So when you are, like I did, aiming a sniper rifle at one of my agent's friends' heads, you can daze them, and then at the end of the start of their go, they wake up from their daze. You can't then use that weapon again to shoot and kill them. So there's a little bit of kind of like grace given to players. There's a little bit of, you get a bit of a chance so that you're not being tracked down and killed. Even when I tried the rocket launcher on Pete, still just dazed him as if it's a rocket launcher.
Yes,
come on.
Still.
And of course you can only use one weapon per round or per go on your go. So again, I like that. It was frustrating for me. I wanted to kill Pete, and I wanted to kill Dave as well, but Dave got on out of there. Run away! But great game. Really a lot of fun. And actually, for me, yes, we played on Tabletopia, and yes, it can feel a little bit clunky at times and stuff like that. But for me, the makings of a great game is one where, as soon as we finished, I'd forgotten that we played it on Tabletopia. And like Dave was saying, oh, I wonder can we get up some of those cards? I'm like, yeah, just go to the box. And oh yeah, we didn't play it in a box. And instantly I was sucked into, it was the fun of the game. Didn't matter what format and what medium we played it through. It was just the game was immersive. It was a lot of fun. The theme was throughout. It was brilliant. So get behind this on Kickstarter. And on that front cover, there's a pair of Y-fronts. I mean, you can't go wrong with a game that has a pair of Y-fronts, underwear.
That was my favourite card. The honey trap.
The honey trap. Amazing. Get involved. Subscribe to us and back this on Kickstarter.
Hi, Dave the Great, and yeah, this is a mighty fine game. So much fun. I mean, we like to take that game here, and this was a really good take that, but there was a lot of fun and laughter involved. It wasn't nasty in any way, shape or form. When you're shooting rocket launchers at point blank range and then still only dazing somebody, you've got to laugh. It's quite clear from all of the cards and the way this is set up that this has been made by somebody with a deep and abiding love of your classic sort of 60s and 70s spy genre. So, I mean, the cards, some of them are awesome, some of them are really silly. So the clipboard of authority makes guards ignore you. Of course it does. One of my personal favourites that Pete used on Andrew was a disguise that it turns out that you weren't who you thought you were actually the other person, so you swap places from one side of the laboratory to the other because you were actually disguised as them and they were disguised as you. How does that even work? But yeah, you got to love it. Hired goons, cardboard cutout, take loads of damage, It was just a cardboard cutout. It wasn't actually you. Got to love it. And of course, my personal favourite, turning it off and on again. If you have to discard a gadget, you don't, because off you go. Absolute. We had a blast. I won, which obviously makes it that tiny bit sweeter. Again. But to be honest, I didn't really care about winning, losing, whatever, because it was just so much fun playing this. And, you know, I grew up, because obviously grey, old, with, you know, things like The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and things like that, with that whole daft spy ethos. And this absolutely nails it. So get behind it on Kickstarter, back it, you will absolutely love it. And I can't wait to play it again in the flesh. So maybe 3 thumbs up from me.
Naked gaming.
You're going to play it in the flesh, as in naked?
Yes. Just for you.
Thanks.
Well, you've obviously led the way.
More bear trap than honey.